What's up? Good morning, buenos dias. Actually, buenos tardes. It's almost the afternoon. Had a late night, but a good start to the day. Happy Sunday, y'all. Don't mind the jams that my sister's holding down in the other room. I feel like it's very fitting to an Aries moon. It's kind of like a low-key drive. I'm not necessarily a master astrologer, but I do know a thing or two about them Aries. First and foremost, I'm your host, Keith, your man of letters, here to bring you a bit of knowledge, information, and hopefully, at the least, some entertainment. If you're new, take your shoes off, stay a while, introduce yourself to the fam. Would love to have you chill, kick it. We got a good thing going on here. If you're an old fan, thanks for still being here. Thank you for the continued support, and thanks for being fucking homies. Thanks for being homies. Kind of losing my voice. I was playing music on the streets till like 2 o'clock in the morning last night with the homies. So that's that. I will pull up your guys' Can you guys hear the music in the background?
Still being here. Thank you for the continued support.
Oh yeah, as you guys can see, we have 2 cool new additions to the stream. I'm dialing in the new software for streaming. Aries, I'll talk about that after. Sorry, I digress. Here's what we gotta notice about Aries. We'll start with the pole. So, one side of the pole is driven, is individualistic. So here's the 2 opposite sides of those. Not negatives, but here's the opposite sides of those. The drivenness tends to make you sort of forget about the whole picture, right? Because you're so focused on driving forward that you don't look what's behind you, you don't look what's next to you, you don't take other people's thoughts into consideration, which makes you such a powerful motion in one direction, right? Which is the masculine. That's why Aries is very masculine. It's very precise, like a laser. Or like a magnifying glass. You take a magnifying glass, the sun comes through, it concentrates the sunlight from the surface area of the lens, right, to a point, the size of a pinhead. So the more concentrated you get that light, the more intense the energy. So that's what the driving force is behind the Aries. But then you become cut off from the rest of the world, which is the individualistic aspect of the Aries that I talked about earlier. You cannot practice extreme concentration without cutting out other parts of the world. That's why I said the negative aspect of individualization and drive, it's not a bad thing, the opposite. The opposite is just you have to sacrifice one thing in order to gain another. In this case, we sacrifice a holistic, integrative, open quality of energy, and we trade that in for a very closed, a very narrow, a very driven, a very focused quality of energy. So what we want to notice stepping into the sort of Aries full moon is that we're going to have an innate sort of drive, individualization, creativity, passion, spark, fire, burn, right? Very fiery, moving emotions. But we have to make sure we're checking in. It doesn't have to be too often, right? This is Aries season. Aries doesn't check in. Aries just does so ride that wave. But just give notice on occasion if something starts to feel awry. Think, am I being too much of a dickhead? Right? Am I being too narrow? Am I not having some sort of balance in a situation that's not working, and you keep ramming it like the Aries wants to just ram shit? If you ram it enough times, you're like, oh, something funny's going on. Take a quick gander. Don't spend too much time. Because here's the thing. I've been reading some shit on the Aries full moon, and it's like It's like, make sure you don't charge too hard, and make sure you don't use too much fire, and like, be careful because the fire energy. Well, I'm not that type of person. Fuck that. Use all the fire, use all the focus, use all the individuality. Here's the thing with rhythm. I know we always talk about the law of rhythm. It says the energy will always flow between the two poles. Right? Energy will always flow between the light and dark, hot and cold, individual and wholeness, right? So right now we're on the individual. We need to ride the individual. We need to fucking go with that quality of energy. We don't need to hold back. We don't need to deny it. We don't need to go, oh, we gotta be careful because you might be too egotistical this month. Or you might be, no, be egotistical this month. That's the whole point of studying astrology, is to go with the flow of what's happening in the external world. So if the flow of the energy right now is individual, be individual. Right? Be dominated by your individual. Be dominated by your creativity. Be dominated by your passions. Be dominated by your focus and concentration. Not completely, right? Not completely. Like, think of the yin and yang symbol. You have one side is dominated by white, one side is dominated by black. But there's a little bit of white in the black, and there's a little bit of black in the white. So that's what we're doing right now. We need to mimic that yin-yang polarity symbol. We need to be dominated by the Aries. Allow yourselves to be in that frame, that reference. That's it. That's pretty much it. I forgot to check in with you guys. I could be talking to a mute microphone or something. I've done that, where I've given like a 20-minute spiel, and then I look and it's like, oh shit, it was on mute. So with that being said, let me make sure we're not on mute. Salavi, Kid, Scarlett, Julianne, Vicky, Theodian, Freeman, Shasta, Haley. How you guys doing? Your Royal Highness. Haley Doucette, yeah. Remind me. Shoot me an email or leave a comment after the video and remind me, and I'll do a hoodoo. Though hoodoo's not my specialty. Now that I think, I don't have that many specialties. I might have like one or two specialties. So, but I mean, I could definitely give you an insight on it, just for the sake of fun and entertainment. Just remind me. Yeah, Todd, well said, Todd. Bonjour. Bonjour, Chris. Yeah, my sister's going in right now. Sometimes she's listening to Slipknot. Sometimes she's listening to Disturbed. Sometimes she's listening to like. I feel like she's holding it down. It's like a good steady rhythm. So make sure you. I think that was basically the majority of what I had to say on now that Aries is here. It's sort of, like I said, I guess I'll reiterate. Just check in from time to time that you're not being too much in your individuality, and you're being too focused, or you're sort of trampling on people and being a tyrant. We don't want to be a tyrant. We just want to be very focused and very driven. We got 12 other months in the year to be all the other variations of qualities of energy. But right now, we kick our feet on the swing on the downswing. Right? Then you get to the apex on the front, and what do? You lean forward so that your weight gets carried backwards. And then you get to the back, and what do? You lean back. So you're helping the momentum push. You're doing two things, actually. You're creating the rhythm, and you're also influencing the rhythm. And then once the rhythm is going, you're using the momentum from that rhythm to gain more energy. Because basically you take the most energy on a swing when you're first starting. Remember how you were on the swing as a kid, and you would have to sort of jerk yourself real hard to get going? You just like fucking flail your body, and you would only move like 1 inch. And then by the time you reach the apex of your swing, very little back lean, very smooth forward lean, about the same, if not a little less amount of energy used. But then think of how far the swing is swinging. That's another trick of the Kabbalion, of the Hermetic philosophy, why understanding these laws are so important, especially rhythm, because, like I said, we want to ride the tides. We want to ride the flows. First, we want to make sure we know who started the rhythm, who started the flow. Right? And then we need to realize, okay, is that flow going in my direction? Because we don't want to hop in any old flow. And then ride that ship. So use it. Use that energy. Don't be afraid of it. Your boy is an Aries sun here, so I'm pretty much dominated my life living this way. My moon is actually Pisces, so pretty stark contrast, but it works. Well, yeah, it works. How you guys doing? You guys enjoying your Sunday, by the way? If you guys are just checking in again, I'm your host, Keith, man of letters, here to bring you knowledge, information, and a bit of entertainment. As you guys can see, we have a cool new things inside of the live stream box. I've been stepping up my HTML game. Hold on, this is my jam. Baby, I'm fading. All I wanna do is come to you, baby. I'm fading. Used to bump this song hard in like 2015. Damn. I'm about to tell her to turn it up. We're about to have a dance party near you guys. Aries equals extra as hell. Yeah, be fucking extra as hell. Slipknot. Slipknot? Did I say Slipknot? I meant Slipknot. I can make it a little bigger, but I haven't figured out. I can't control myself when the beat drops. I can't make the screen bigger without covering the widgets on the side. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So I can make it big, a little bigger though. Hold on. All I wanna do is take you downtown. Oh no, I can't do it. Can I do it? I thought I could do it. I can't do it right now. Can't do it right now. I think you're gonna have to deal with it. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Lo siento. Lo siento. Now allow me to check in with your guys' comments. Ooh. I don't know if Black Dave, if that was there, but basically that little thing under the video that says Black Dave is the newest subscriber. Put up a little newest subscriber. I thought it disappears after a second, but apparently it just stays the entire time. You just planted chocolate trees? Fuck, Todd, you're on a good one. I finally planted my sandalwood seeds. I planted 9 sandalwood trees. Oh, I don't know what the germination rate is on them. But I hope I get a bunch. I'm about to sell the hell out of sandalwood trees. Ooh, Salem Rains. Thanks, man. Thanks for that comment, Salem. I'm glad. I'm glad, because it's always... A lot of people that I talk about this stuff to aren't deep in it, but they know it. So it's like... It's nice to have someone who's been deep in it for a long time and still be able to get something kind of practical and useful out of it. That way I don't feel like I'm just spouting out total nonsense half the time. So thank you for the validation. Thanks, Kobe. Hello, Jenny Pete. Don't hate on my dance moves. And probably because I am someone's old uncle. I'm definitely someone's old uncle, which is why I'm dancing like this. Good morning, Double R. Oh yeah, Todd, send me that myrrh tree. I'll send you some. I don't know if there's anything that I have. You seem to be the tree master more than I. Maybe I can give you like a. Ooh, I can send you a Devil's Club Spagyric as a thank you. You want that? It's pretty fire. It's actually a really well done product. I'm super stoked on it. Oh. Dominique, what you should do is go over to Todd's Tropicals and go make sure you watch his videos on plant care. I don't know if he grows. Todd, I'll email you my address. If you guys are just checking in, welcome to the stream. I'm your host, Keith. Sorry you missed absolutely everything, but I'll sum it up for you in like 25 seconds, maybe. Okay, here's the thing. Aries, powerful, driven, individualistic. The downside is you could forget about other people's feelings and become a dickhead. That doesn't mean stop being individualistic. Ride that shit moment to moment. Ride the energy and the tide and the quality of energy that's coming from the Aries constellation and all that other crazy astrology stuff that I don't know the words for. And don't stop. Don't look back. Don't look sideways. Don't take anyone else's feelings or anyone else's thoughts into consideration unless your own personal will has failed you. That's one thing I forgot to answer. So longer than 25 seconds is, again, you have the answers. You have the best knowledge of how to go forward with your own life than anyone in your entire life, because no one has your experience. So go with your gut. Go with your thoughts. Go with your game plan. Don't ask volition or validation of anyone else. Just fucking charge ahead, because that is what the universe is blasting the earth with. So you got to use that quality of energy. Now, be dominated by it. Don't be consumed. Don't be overwhelmed with it, right? This is a good time to meditate. It's a good time to meditate because you want to be able to focus that power. You don't want to be flailing around. This is a good time to make a list, to make a to-do list, because again, we don't want wasted energy during this month. We want concentrated, focused, determined fucking will from sun up to sundown. That's what the Aries power is about. Take a break. Meditate in the morning. Meditate at night. And in the in-between spaces, go 110. You can fucking rest when you're dead, or you can rest for the next full moon, and take a load off. I think Taurus is the next one, right? Is Taurus the next? Don't bulls just fucking chill and hang out all day? So maybe you'll get to hang out next month. But right now is not a time for hanging out. Ooh! If someone's in the chat room right now, in the live right now, the stream right now, do me a favor, subscribe. 1, because we're awesome. 2, see the little thing under it says welcome to the family, Black Dave. I want to see if I did it right. So if someone who's in the live right now hasn't been here before, hit the subscribe button. You can even unsubscribe if you want. Hit the subscribe button and let me see if the name changes. What up, Alchemy? Sandalwood is kind of a parasite, so you'll need a legume to fix nitrogen with the plant. So I can plant some sort of acacia tree with it, right? Don't acacias fix nitrogen? Do I have any acacias lying around? What's up, Bree? Thanks for ordering the book, Alchemy. Double R says, I've noticed that I'm usually calm when these circumstances would have had me more emotional. I'm elevating. I'm thinking more strategically. Well fucking said, Double R. Well said. It's what we aim to do. Our name is our virtue. We don't want to get rid of the emotions. Emotions aren't a bad thing. The problem with emotions is that they have so much power behind them. Doesn't matter what emotion it is. If it's a good emotion, bad emotion, a high frequency emotion, a low frequency emotion, they all have an extreme amount of power behind them. And we don't strategize them. We don't reel them in. We don't take into consideration where the emotions are coming from, how much investment of thought are we giving these emotions, how much attachment are we giving to these emotions. Are we using the emotions to create things, or are we using the emotions to destroy things? And so I believe that's why you say you're unusually calm when normally you'd be more emotional. So maybe, I don't know exactly, but it seems like there would be some sort of fine line in between being consumed by your emotions and being outside of your emotions. It's almost like you want to find you have an extreme emotion, say sadness or fear or happiness, courage, whatever it is, and you go, what can I do with this emotion? I'm feeling really fucking fill in the blank. What do I want to do with this emotion? Which is, what do they call it? Energy in motion. What am I going to do with this? Am I going to channel it into something? Am I going to try to dissipate it? It's sort of like what they do with the sexual practices, sex energy, and why people will practice semen retention, because it's another form of energy. And so the idea is hold the sexual energy and channel it, which takes an extreme amount of will, by the way, channel it into a creative outlet, because that's what sexual energy is. At its fundamental, it creates things. It creates life, human life. Imagine how much energy it takes to create a vessel that hosts an infinite soul. That's an ungodly amount of energy. So between the egg and the sperm, you've got God knows how much, I don't know, spiritual energy? What do you even call it? So you channel it, you redirect, and that's what we have to do with our emotions. We got to redirect them, and then let that shit flood. So you created a new passion project fueled off of your anger and your disgust for humanity. But instead of wallowing in your anger and disgust, you create a non-profit that regrows forests in devastated third world countries, right? So now you've taken the powerful emotion of disgust and angst and hatred and fucking all these things, and you've channeled it, you've transmuted it, right, to its opposite but equal quality of energy. Well played, Double R. Well played. No pigeon peas? Nice. Should I plant a pea? And they're in 1 gallon pots, Todd. I planted a seed per pot. I don't know what the rate is, in 9 pots. So when the trees sprout, should I just throw like a pea seed inside the 1 gallon? Would that work? Max the Goddess, hello, welcome. No. Oh yes, I'm a Pisces moon, but my sun is Aries. Astrological sun, not offspring. Yesenia, welcome back. Emotions are tiring? Yeah, absolutely emotions are tiring. That's why they say they take a lot out of you, because they're fucking powerful, man. So, rest up. Or rise above. Or you can be like a robot and completely detach altogether, which I'm not sure is a good thing or not. I feel like it's probably not a good thing to completely detach from the emotions, at least in the human form. Another well-stated line by Todd. How should I react? Well, don't react. Meditate. Think about it. Then act. Well said. Scorpio sun. Leo moon. Capricorn rising. Jose Rodriguez, what up? I thought a teeter-totter would be good for polarity. Yeah, teeter-totter works too. Teeter-totter works too. I like the swing better than the teeter-totter because the swing... Yeah. Yeah, it works. Teeter-totter works. Thanks for being here, Maria. I think you missed the majority of the live, though. We already said the main talking points. Unless you want me to go over it again, but how about this? I'm gonna pull a card for the squad that's in here. How many people? There's 28 of us in here. Perfect. So, first of all, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love. It's a Sunday morning, rain is falling, and doing some Man of Letters things, which are some of my favorite things to do ever. And what'll this be for? We'll do a week. We'll do. Now I'm not a tarot card reader, so there's gonna be fucking master tarots in here. So you guys beat me to it. At least give me the overview of the card, and then I'll read from my personal tarot book the card's meaning, and then we'll do a little 3 spread for the week and just see what up, I guess. This isn't for you guys, it's for us, really. It's for myself too, so I'm curious. So keep in mind, quality of Aries energy, fiery, passionate, driven, which is emotional, right? Yeah, Aries is emotional. We got to make sure we focus on a solid container, though, for that emotion, for that energy. So, again, write out to-do lists. It doesn't have to be a lot. It could be one fucking thing a day. That's all. I'm not saying go if I could be the next Elon Musk. Just use the energy. Get yourself a schedule, at least one thing a day that you'll do every fucking day that will progress you towards your goal. And check that bitch off at the end of the day. Don't just fucking stare at it. But so with that kept in mind, we'll draw some cards right now, 3 of them, and I'll try to be quick on finding them in my book so that we can sort of get this show on the road. It's 12:12 right now. Speaking of will, I'll pull cards right now, but I'm pretty much 100% down to do what I'm about to tell you guys that we should all do together. I'm 100% down to do it, but I'm like maybe 20 to 30% will actually go through with doing it, and that's what Alchemy of Life is talking about. Getting a compass and meditating for 2 hours a day, 1 hour facing the north and the other hour facing the south of the magnetic poles, so that we can achieve everlasting life. As taught by Thoth the Atlantean in the Emerald Tablets. So, Alchemy of Life has already started. He's got his compass on the way. I need to get my compass. Ooh, Winnie, the distilled mugwort. I didn't know I sold distilled mugwort. You mean the hydrosol or the mugwort oil? Anywho, here go the cards, you guys. Here go the cards. We'll give him a little shuff. Give him a little shuff. Give him a little shuff, shuff, shuff. Little shuff, shuff, shuff. What a doo-doo, boo-boo. And bada bing. Bada boom. Bada sping. Do 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 do. Oh, I guess we're doing 4 cards, because that one fell into the mix awfully conspicuously. It's going to take me forever to read. Oh, shit. Like I said, you tarot masters out there, help us out. Give the input. I'll read the card. And tell me your thoughts. You don't have to read reverse. I like to read reverse because I find it personally useful. But you don't have to. You definitely don't have to. Well, yeah, you need to do way more videos in general, Todd. I like your videos a lot. Way more frankincense videos too, man. You're fucking holding out on the frankincense videos. Like, I want to see an update. I want to see a growth update of your sacras, especially because I can't seem for the fucking life of me to grow a sacra from seed. I've gotten like 15 of them to sprout, and they just don't make it. They make it, but they just grow like shit. My nanas are killing it. My sacra cuttings are killing it. My burseras are killing it. My neglecta is, my boswellia neglecta is not killing it. It's not killing it at all. All right. Anywho, my Patreon starts at, I think it starts at like $2 for my Patreon. And then I have a $5 Patreon that gives you 10% off my Etsy shop. And then I have a $10 Patreon that gets you 20% off my Etsy shop, which has a lot of cool shit. So I guess before I start, I'll do some shameless promo. You guys, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's a bunch of you that order often from my Etsy shop. And you can join my Patreon for either $5 or $10 a month, and you'll get $10 or $20, 10 or 20% off my entire Etsy shop. So it's sort of, if you buy from my Etsy shop a lot, it balances off if you just join the program, basically. And I'm sure you'll end up saving a lot in the long run because some of you guys order a shit ton of stuff. And that being said, also you can donate to the squad. In the description box, there's a donation. And I believe when you donate, I have this, if you see that little wine glass up top, it's the tip jar. It's actually pretty dope. And it, like, little tips will fall in the cup when you donate. Like, the 2 that are in there were test donations I did to myself, and then it drops little gold things in there. But, like, say if you were to go in there right now and donate like 25 cents, I think you can donate less than $1. It'll drop a little tip jar in there. Bling, bling, bling. It's actually, I haven't seen it in action yet, but anywho. Jenny P, I don't sell water lilies. I'm not sure. Oh, you were talking to Todd. If you want, I can save water lily flowers for you and dry them and ship them off. Yeah, we have a cool... My dad has a pond with some type of lily, and I'm assuming it's a water lily, but it looks like shit. So, it's a little koi pond, a tiny little, like 4x5 pond. It's not very big. But, yeah, man, I would love some water lilies. I would love the guiati, however you pronounce, the Commiphora that you were going to send me. And, seeds are free. How generous, Todd. Okay. Hey, Native Peacemaker. Oh, man, you missed the juicy part of it. But I know how much you like the videos. All right, you guys, I'm going to do another... I'm sorry, this is my... How about this? I'll flip the cards. We'll have our Master Tarot people who are in here do a quick decipher. I'll give a quick rundown for Native Peacemaker. And then I'll pull out my little herbal tarot book and narrow it down. Ready, break. So here's the cards. These are the cards for the week of the 5 of Wands, 7 of Cups, 4 of Cups, and a reversed Chariot. So, get cracking, Tarot fam. 5 of Wands, 7 of Cups, 4 of Cups, reversed Chariot. Perfect Wands card for the first card for Aries. It's all about building and crafting and making shit happen in fire. And I don't know what the other ones mean, but okay, so this is what we're looking for in this spread. Here's what to look for with the Aries energy of this month. It's going to be driven, it's going to be focused, it's going to be individualistic. Use that. Be individualistic, be focused, be somewhat egotistical. Don't try not to rely too much on other people's thoughts and other people's ideas. Trust your own intuition, trust your own volition, your own drive, your own power as an entity in this existence. And be the ram, but charge into shit. It's okay to be even a little naive right now. Within reason. Remember the yin and yang symbol. It's a polarity, but it's not completely balanced. It's not 50-50, right? Because on the right side, it's dominated by black. The left side, dominated by white. But there's a little bit of white in the black. And there's a little bit of black in the white. That's how we need to take the Aries season. We need to take that fire, be dominated by it, but not completely, but mostly. So, and then here's our cards. 5 of Wands, 7 of Cups, 4 of Cups, reverse Chariot. Hey, William Seven Sticks, what up, man? I'm glad you used that word, Opal Panics Mirror, because I just learned about that. And that's good to know, Todd. What makes it Opal Panics? All right, Joyce, I will. I just don't do too many tarot readings because I don't know the cards. Like, I have to look up every card in the tarot deck. I'm not like a, you know what I mean? But sure. I'm already ahead of you with the J, Todd. I just couldn't burn too much of it because I got to adult today. But let's start with the 5 of Wands. So far, Salavi says, feeling defensive and guarded, not serving you. Where's my wands at? Nope, swords is primero, wands. Okay. Hawthorn. Expectorant promotes blood circulation, digestion, and appetite for all heart problems. Well, the plant that's corresponding with the 5 of Wands is turmeric, which is a highly healing plant. Good for arthritis. Actually, speaking of which, Todd, we just pulled your card right now. Where'd it go? Commitment, determination to play and win. This card's fucking perfect. Perfect first card for the Aries full moon. First week. We talked about drive, right? Drive and commitment, goal setting, sticking to the goal setting, boundaries, focus, concentration, all very masculine things, very Aries things. But Aries is also the first sign of the zodiac, which makes it exceptionally playful. It's a child, which has its downfalls. It fucking has Peter Pan syndrome, but at the same time never loses the spirit of sort of unlimited potential. Because that's what Peter Pan is. Peter Pan is unlimited potential forever. He never grows up. And that's what the beauty of children is, that they could be anything. That's another side of Aries, is it's young while it's driven and determined. It's young, which means playfulness. Playfulness tends to be the easiest place to create from, because it's very light. It's very airy. It's very light. So think of a physical world counterpart. Is it easier to manipulate a feather that weighs like less than a gram, or is it easier to manipulate a fucking bowling ball? It's easier to manipulate the feather. It's lighter. They both have their own uses. So playfulness is definitely how we're going to have to sort of move forward with the drive, with the determination. You know what I noticed about the herbal tarot deck is that it doesn't necessarily, and I don't know how it does it too. I should read more about how they chose the plants, because they go more off the divinatory meaning of the associated plant, and the way they get the associated plant is plants are dominated by their own planets. So plants are dominated by Aries. That's what Devil's Club, the Devil's Club spagyric that I just was telling Todd about, is probably the best fucking tonic you can take for this month. But other than that, Devil's Club is dominated by Mars. Water plants are dominated by watery planets. Hot, spicy plants like turmeric and cinnamon, those things are dominated by fiery planets, etc., etc. So, if you're getting a reading that you're not used to from your normal tarot decks, that's probably why. But definitely a time for playfulness. So next is Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups. Juniper berries is the plant for Seven of Cups, which they make gin out of. My favorite. So we're already off to a good start. Aromatic. Interesting. So aromatics tend to be sensual, flowy, almost indescribable at points, complex at points. Sort of divinatory meaning is all things are possible. The realization of the impact of thoughts in creating daily reality. So here we go, back to creating a daily reality, which we already talked about. Make a list. Make your plan, even if it's a day-to-day plan. We need to start thinking on the micro. That's what Aries is about. That's what masculine is about. It's about the micro. It's about the precise. Feminine, macro, whole picture. Masculine, micro, smaller picture. And again, we get the juniper berry, which has a spiritual quality and an energetic quality of the realization of the impact of thoughts in creating daily reality. So, there you go. Four of Cups, next. Yeah, turmeric tea is great. So is frankincense tea is actually really good too. The boswellic acids in frankincense tea are actually more powerful than turmeric when it comes to inflammation, which leads to stuff like arthritis and shit like that. But anywho, on to the Four of Cups. Burdock, direct, burdock, I don't really know what burdock does, but it's a nutritive. The root is used as a diuretic, which is like a cleanser almost, makes you pee. Alternative for skin diseases, urinary disorders. The seeds are often used for skin diseases and fevers. The divinatory meaning need for some intervention in daily life without the knowledge of where it will come from. Uncertainty as to what action to take. Strengthen and purify both within and without, and wait for the watchful awareness. Help is at hand. Interesting. Very interesting. Uncertainty as to what action to take is very important when it comes to now, because basically this month is sort of a shit or get off the pot. You can't have an action. You can't have a very masculine, very aggressive, very action-based sign like Aries and not have a plan. So one of my problems is I like 1,000 different things. So it doesn't matter how much energy I have, how much drive I have. If I can't narrow one down, I'm not really going to see the fruits of any of the labor that I'm putting in. Unless I don't want to see the fruit of my labor and chill, then that's fine. But if I want to say I want to make a certain amount of money, then I have to narrow down the passions, and so that your energy is useful. Again, like putting sunlight through a magnifying glass. The idea is get all that energy into one spot to create the most fire. So Four of Cups is basically saying there's a sort of internal struggle, figuring out what you want to do, be specific about what you want to do. Again, break it down to the micro. What exact emotion do you want to feel? What exact outcome do you want to see? What exact emotion do you want to feel? And then fucking shit, because we're not getting out the pot. We're shitting. We're shitting. We're not getting off the pot. We're making it happen. And interestingly enough, help is at hand. So dial in the internal dialogue, quiet it down, take a serious stock in consideration, give it a good evening, meditate, light some candles, drink some tea, get your favorite pen and a piece of paper, put on your favorite playlist, and give yourself 20 minutes. Like 20 minutes. What is 20 minutes tonight? So 20 minutes to write down what you really want. What emotions are conflicting you? Why are they conflicting you? Dial some shit in. You'll still have time for Netflix after that. And then get straight within so that you can get straight without. You'll have a better idea of where you want to go and how you want to do it. And you'll turn all this madness of energy that is Aries, and you'll be able to give it a focal point on something to create. Last card is the Chariot. And I don't know what the hell the Chariot is, but it's reversed. And it's got the polarity symbol on it. Our favorite topic, you guys. It's 7. Ooh, Cypress. Fun fact, my middle name is Cypress. Also, Todd's got the perfect combination. Frankincense tree leaves? Really? You can make a tea out of the tree leaves? Are they as therapeutic as the resin? Cinnamon, cardamom. Heavy detox for the burdock. That's perfect, you guys, because we have to narrow it down. So I guess that would make sense that burdock is a heavy detoxer, because detoxer is all about getting rid of toxic shit. So the more subtle spiritual side of getting toxins out of the liver is getting toxins out of the psyche and out of the mind to make way for the focal point. So perfect, burdock. Perfect. It'd be cool to get a garden with every one of these plants and trees inside of it. Anywho, where are we? The Chariot. So symbolically, what's the plant? The plant is cypress. Oh, but it's not the tree. It's the sort of sort of grass-looking plant. Anywho, my bad. I'm digressing. Regulates one's energy. It's for trouble regulating your energy. Swings in mood from depression to joy. Trouble digesting food. Cypress is not for an individual with dryness and a tendency toward hyperactiveness. So divinatory meanings: direction from within, knowledge of inner powers and strengths, ability to regulate one's life to manifest highest potential, triumph and will. Right, so again, another masculine card. Triumph and willpower is the most important thing, I think, from this spread is willpower. Willpower in terms of making a decision for what you want and narrowing it down and getting rid of the things that you don't want, right? Because think of the word, if you think of the word decision, the word to decide literally means to cut out. So when you incision, you cut into. I'm making an incision into the arterial lateral ventricular artery, right? An incision cuts in, a decision cuts out. So that's what we saw with the Four of Cups, is sort of not being able to make a decision, not being able to cut certain things out. We got to detox the shit that we don't need. Again, we get Chariot. Talks about the will. Cypress plant talks about the will. Talks about regulating the emotions. Talks about which another word for controlling the emotions, using the emotions for our advantage and not at our detriment. However, the card is reversed, so we'll see what the reverse meaning means. Overbearing personality, stubbornness, insensitivity, cruelty, hostility. Ooh, that's basically the reverse meaning of Aries in general. I'll read that again. Overbearing personality, stubbornness, insensitivity, right, because you're focused on yourself and not others. Cruelty, again, because it's a very selfish sign, right? You want to do something for the sake of you. And hostility, because Aries is fucking aggressive and always trying to fight people. Which is not true. I'm an Aries sun, and I definitely don't try to fight people. I had some of these other qualities for sure, but I don't know. Yeah, grain of salt, I guess. But alright, so I guess we gotta be careful that we don't be consumed by it. I've been amping up the Aries, but maybe the cards are saying, Keith, don't hype it up. Maybe crank it down a notch. Maybe you're on a 9, maybe a 7.5. Okay, if I was talking Aries energy at a 9 earlier, out of a scale of 10, we're cranking it down to like 8.5. 8.5. We don't want to turn into tyrannical bastards. So. Hold on, you guys. Give me 1 second. Is there also? There's 37 people in here. Is there anyone? There has to be at least one new person in the room. Can you do me a favor? You don't have to stay subscribed to the channel, but could you click the subscribe button so I could see if my new subscription text changes at the bottom of my screen? Because it's supposed to change when someone subscribes to the channel, like live updates. But I don't see anything. I haven't been able to. I just put it up, so I want to see if it works. Shock me like an electric feel. I'm reading your guys' comments right now. Ooh. Shit, we might be related by blood too, Alchemy. You never know. Where's you found me from the south or what? Burdock is a common weed all over the United States. That's interesting. I need to find that. Cypress papyrus. Yeah, exactly. Cypress papyrus. Oh, Alchemy, are you serious about that? Do you really want me to sign it? I'll do that. I'll definitely sign you a copy and send it to you, my dude. Oh, it worked. I just heard, did you guys hear the jingle? What just happened? What just happened? Oh, nice. And my tip jar. So the tip jar, the little glass tip jar on the top, fills up when someone subscribes or donates money or does something like that. How cool is that? Yeah, it doesn't work for unsubscribing and subscribing, unfortunately, Dominique. It's got to be a new subscriber. Ah, but the name didn't change. What the hell? That's a bummer. Hmm. Uh-oh. Something else just happened. What else just happened? Oh, you know why I think why? I think the reason why is because, long story short, I have to start the live over and reset it because I think I changed it once the stream had already started. Because I've been trying to figure it out. But take it easy, Janie P. Thanks for chilling with us. And questions? Anyone have questions? Does anyone want to share something? Share some insight? Did it say someone donated? Someone donated? Oh my god. Todd, I don't know if you're still here, but I made a perfume out of I have rock rose. I have the myrrh. I have myrrh absolute, frankincense absolute, tonka bean, um, some gangster muskrat, hyrecium. Got some pretty cool. I got some pretty cool. It fucking smells. I kind of want to send that to you for sending me the tree. Peace out, Todd. Everyone say peace out, Todd. Do I ever cast candle spells? I used to do a lot more than I am now. I haven't. My spell game hasn't been on point. Usually I use the candles for. I use them for money because I have the gold. I have beeswax candles. I pour my. If you guys are here, check out my Etsy shop. I got some dope ass beeswax candles amongst a bunch of other cool witchy ass, spiritual ass, magical plants. If you want magical plants, I got you on the Etsy. But I do a lot of, not a lot, but I used to do a lot of money spells with candles because they are yellow and represented gold. But I don't do most of the ritual stuff. I do is with plants, you guys. I've told you this before. Is I like to do just written out mantras, my own personal poems or spells or just sorcery to help the plants grow and to help something grow and manifest for me. And I'll plant it in the soil so that it breaks down in the soil. I write it on cotton paper so it breaks down in the soil and is used as nutrients by the plants and other critters so it sort of grows into the plant basically. Those are the types of things I do when it comes to an actual ritual. Otherwise I don't really do ritual shits. I do mostly visualization and meditation. Yeah. Gangster muskrat is an animal. Muskrat is an animal. it's I wish I could explain. I wish you guys could smell this. It's like It's like if you're going to do some sort of dark ass voodoo in a dark wood at night, surrounded by in the middle of a forest, yet in the middle of a white sage opening, because I used some white sage oil in here that I had distilled. So it's got some white sage, home distilled white sage oil. Not much though, but it's like if you're doing some witchy ass shit in the middle of the woods, in the middle of a white sage patch. But it's almost but the muskrat's animal. It's not botanical. It's not a botanical ingredient. Muskrat is from the muskrat, and man. But I also put pure rose oil too, and just one drop of lavender to give it a little something something. So it's like a dark flowery, witchy animal night. But it's beautiful at the same time. It comes on strong, but it feels super feminine, like on the finish. Might not even sell that. Might keep that for myself. Anywho. Peace out, Todd. Do spells work for anyone, in that they focus your concentration and they focus your determination, and they serve as a reminder to the goal, a reminder to the purpose. Because remember, you as the individual, as the origin of thought, is doing the creating. Thought is creation, not the candle, not the potions, not even the words. The first is the thought. First is the thought. So that's where the creation is coming from. What the rituals do is they sort of gather resonating qualities of energy. So they match the frequency that you want. So they sort of strengthen it. The candles. The color of the candle, the ingredients in the candle, and the flame are all resonating symbols of the original thought. So they add power to the original thought. It goes for mantras. It goes for crazy ass blood rituals. It goes for everything. Plant magic, right? Because say I want money. Okay, well, I'll find a plant that's historically been known to symbolize wealth and abundance, right? So I find the resonating frequency. I find the match. So the frequency from that object strengthens the frequency that I'm trying to generate, right? Doesn't go the other way around. The power is within you. It starts within you. That's not to say that the external world doesn't influence us as well. As above, so below, as they say. So do they work? Absolutely. But I wouldn't make the mistake of thinking that those are the origin of your manifestations, because they're not by any means the origin. Salem rains? That sounds amazing. Travel all over the U.S. and do tons of foraging for my practice. So if you have interest in anything, let me know and I'll send you some. What have I been trying? I've been trying to find sassafras trees that I can grow. I wanted to grow my own sassafras trees, but I hear they're out on the East Coast. I don't have access without buying them. It'd be cool to get them from someone like you too. I feel like they would have a nice little extra touch. Any plant that has an entheogenic purpose. So any cool spiritual plant, basically. Yeah, Slavi Studio, perfect. So you guys got to realize that we'll take this into a scientific approach. Anytime you mix two frequencies together, they leave a sort of impression on each other. Your electromagnetic field carries information, interacts with neighboring objects. So you can sort of concentrate your electromagnetic pull, if you will, on an object. So you find an object that matches the frequency, and you can almost add to it. The more you involve yourself in a process, the more of your frequency gets mixed with it. So, where Salavi was talking about putting intention into the candles. So, imagine how much energy you're putting into growing the plant, nurturing the plant, cutting the plant, preparing the plant, distilling the plant, collecting the oil, mixing it with the wax, pouring it, lighting it. That every step along the way is you putting energy into it. That's why it's usually better to get stuff like this when it comes to ritual things from people who are like hands-on with it, not mass producing something or factory producing something. Not that they don't work, but again, the name of the game is how much energy can you put into something. So if you're along with it every step of the way, the more power it's going to have. Thanks for hanging out, Nessa. Uppity is back. What's up, Uppity? He's got a few pieces out of Indiana from Sassafras. That's awesome. That would be great. Seeds would be great too if you ever come across those. Royal Highness. I'm not sure Dominique's in here anymore. I think you missed her. I heard the little jingle go off, but it didn't tell me what happened. I know that Daduk flute is nice. Isn't that Daduk flute super nice? Sorry. Let me just. Cool. Well, unless you guys have anything else to Merkaba meditation. I think I tried that a while ago. Oh, dope. Cool. Thanks, Alchemy. Giant white bird of paradise. We have bird of paradises here, but they're not white. A white one would look amazing. That would look super cool. I'm probably gonna go live later tonight, you guys. So we'll call this one here. Again, in the description, if you found any of this helpful and you want to help out the squad, you can check the donation link. It's in the description box. Goes to the Streamlabs if you see that little goal right there. Basically, that fills up. I have my Etsy shop, Man of Letters Co. Sell all dream potions, spagyrics, all kinds of cool ass shit on there. My Patreon too. If you guys want to support the channel, I'm on Patreon. Again, if you buy from my Etsy shop, super cool. $5 get you 10% off the Etsy shop. $10 gets you 20% off the Etsy shop. So if you buy candles a lot, if you buy hydrosols, I make mugwort hydrosol, I make rosemary hydrosol and essential oil, lavender, cedar, candles, ritual candles, natural botanical perfumes. I sell magical plants on there. If any of that stuff interests you, hit up your boy. The Etsy shop is, I'll send you the Etsy shop. I'm in California. I've seen, that's what I'm saying, the bird of paradise grows like crazy over here, but I've never seen a white bird of paradise. Etsy.com/shop/Man of Letters Co. Whoops, I didn't spell that right. That's my Etsy shop. So unless you guys have nothing else left to say, speak now or forever hold your peace. Going once. Going twice. Peace out, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'll probably see you tonight. Enjoy your Sunday.